Hello everyone, I would like to present my personal reflection after watching the video entitled World Englishes. Before we start, let me introduce myself. My name is Rifka Haliza Amidi from JA class, English department, class of 2023. And here's my reflection. I found myself thinking about how English is constantly evolving around the world. The speaker explains that English is no longer just a language spoken by people in the UK, US, or Australia. Instead, it has become a global language, spoken and adapted by people in every corner of the world. And as English spreads to different countries, it is shaped and changed to reflect local cultures, history, and daily life. One of the first things that struck me in the talk was the idea that English is a living language that adapts quickly. The speaker shared how when English speaking settlers arrived in America hundreds of years ago, they immediately started using English words in new ways to describe things they had never seen before. For example, they created new words like moccasin and wigwam to describe Native American items. This shows how English evolves and changes quickly to reflect new experiences and needs. And even today, countries around the world are continuing this process of adapting English to make it their own. What I found most interesting was the speaker's example of South African English. In South Africa, there are thousands of words that are used only in that country, making it sometimes hard for even native English speakers to understand. One example is the word robot, which is in South Africa English means traffic light, not a machine. This really opened my eyes to how English can sound so different depending on where you are. It's not just the words themselves, but also how those words are influenced by local languages and culture. This idea of localizing English is happening everywhere, whether you're in South Africa, Serbia, or anywhere else. Every English has its own unique flavor that reflects the local culture. The speaker also gave the example of British English phrase like Clapham Junction, which refers to a very busy and chaotic train station in London. To someone who isn't familiar with British culture, it would be hard to understand the meaning behind the phrase. This shows how much our language is tied to our culture. A Serbian person might say something similar, but in their own way, reflecting their own country and experiences. It made me think about how we all use English differently depending on where we are from. Even though we are all speaking the same language, the way we express ourselves can vary greatly. It's not just about the words we use, but also the cultural references, idioms, and expressions that are unique to each place. And when you're speaking to someone from a different country, you might encounter language that's hard to understand, just like how the speaker didn't understand the African use of robot. So, in conclusion, the idea of world Englishes really shows how dynamic and diverse the English language has become. It's no longer just a language spoken in one place, but a global language that's constantly changing and adapting to the world's different cultures. As we use English to connect with people from different countries, it's important to remember that language is always influenced by the culture it's spoken in, and the way people use it tells us a lot about their world. I guess that's all from me. Thanks for watching. Wassalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.